10 years ago, the Genesis Initiative was born with a clear vision: to transform cities, plant churches, and bring the message of Christ to the big cities of the Mesoamerican region. Today, that vision continues to be fulfilled, thanks to brave young people who have decided to leave comfort behind to follow God's calling. In 2024, Genesis celebrated 10 years since sending out its first team. 12 locations have been impacted, over 43 missionaries have been sent, and thousands of lives have been touched by the power of Christ. But the most exciting part is that the story doesn't end here. This story continues to unfold.
In my life, I used to be a very sad person, a person with a lot of suffering, and then they started talking to me about God. I began to change. I now see life in a different way, and I became joyful. That's when Sister Dawi approached me and began talking to me about God. That's where I received Christ in my heart. I decided to get baptized for the forgiveness of my sins, and I left the old self behind to become a new person. That day was when I began to feel that I had left behind everything that had happened to me, everything I had done wrong.
Jael, Luis, and Dawilda are brave young people who are serving in Chihuahua, Mexico, with passion and dedication. They are working tirelessly to leave a functioning church in the northern district of Mexico, a vibrant community that will keep growing and spreading the message of Christ to more hearts.
The first house they visited was mine, and from there I fell in love with how they spoke to me about the word of my Father, Jesus Christ. Today, I want to cry because it was such a great blessing for me when they came and spoke to me, to nourish me with the word of my Father, Jesus Christ. The Genesis missionaries have impacted my life in many ways, each with a totally different personality. They've taught me that we can serve God in different ways and with different personalities, and that God uses the qualities of each person to work with others. Since they arrived, they've taught us and opened our minds to a level of compassion, not only to stay within four walls looking at the needs of our brothers and sisters, which is, of course, important, but there are so many people outside who need us. The fact that they came here, leaving everything behind, and gave 2 years of their lives solely for the work for Him, has made my way of service much more passionate than before. I now have the need to serve.
God has placed this urge in my heart to keep moving forward, to keep supporting the church. When the missionaries are no longer here, I will continue. From the moment they spoke to me, I felt a great responsibility because of that. Since then, I've tried to get more involved with them. It's about knowing their needs, their problems.
Genesis has meant the second most important decision I've made in my life. The first was receiving the Lord into my heart, and the way Genesis has transformed me and worked in my life. The way I've come to know the Lord through this initiative, seeing His love so alive in my life and in the lives of others, has been the most challenging and most wonderful thing I've ever experienced so far.
Genesis has meant spiritual growth in other areas of my life. God has transformed my heart.
For anyone who feels a call to serve in the mission field through Genesis, I would say, don't be afraid. When God calls us, we often think we're not prepared, or we lack the necessary studies for this or that. Don't focus on yourself. Focus on the great God who is calling you.
I would like to encourage each of the churches in the region to participate in missions. Not just hear about it, but get involved in missions. There are many ways to help.
If you don't have the time or have responsibilities that prevent you from being here in person, your prayers can be a huge help. Also, send your donations so that the missionaries can continue their work, whether it's for educational materials for the children or supplies for evangelism programs, food donations, etc. I believe that burdens are lighter when shared, and what better way to share them than with a great purpose, which is to reach people and bring them to Christ.
Having our brothers here has been a blessing for us both personally and for Oasis and Adonai churches. They are a blessing to each one of us.
If you ever have the opportunity to receive missionaries, it is a privilege. Don't deny yourself the chance. If you ever get the proposal, it's a great challenge, but it's a necessary change. It's a change for our lives, for global evangelism. For us, it has been a huge blessing for our family, our church, our community, and our city. God moves in an impressive and beautiful way through missionary work. Do it, accept the challenges, and embrace the opportunities.
Continue being a part of Genesis with us, and let's keep transforming cities with more than 100,000 inhabitants across Mesoamerica through the love of Jesus.
Genesis starts with you.
We want to say thank you, Mesoamerica, for your continued support to keep ministering.
In the great cities of our region,